I'm here with Thandie Newton from Pursuit of Happiness. Thandie, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us.
Great pleasure.
This was a very emotional role for you, and I imagine that, was it still fun to do the role, or was it just, it was always very serious?
It was very satisfying. We'd nail a scene, you know what I mean? My first scene, I think, was when Linda's out on the balcony smoking a cigarette, and he's just come home with 2 scanners instead of 1. I mean, it's just like, oh my God. And we nailed it, and I was so worried about it because I had to. It was a role in conflict, you know. It wasn't all bad. She's not all tough. There's fragility there. She's a mother, but she leaves her kid. There's so many contradictions, and I had to embody all of those things. And it was so far from me, and yet I could imagine being in so much pain and so lost that you just want to abandon your whole life. It's very self-destructive.
I want to ask you about that. The character of Linda, can you identify with anything that she went through and that you had?
I can. As a parent, if you're going through a tough time in your own personal life and you feel, if you're depressed, being around your kids makes it so much harder. And it's not because they're a burden, it's because they bring you into the present so utterly you can't shut down from the reality. And one of the ways of avoiding, you can take antidepressants, which I guess is shutting you down from the reality in a sense, or it's giving you some perspective back. But you just want to shut down the reality, so you need to sometimes remove yourself from the truth, which is them, and what they force you to confront.
What brings you the most happiness in your life? Your pursuit of happiness. What brings you happiness? It seems like your children.
Yeah, yes, they do, hugely. But also, you know what? I work hard not to rely on that because, you know, it's more to be grateful for this day and for their health, for their life experiences and mine through theirs, and to be grateful for today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and that's happiness. Being, just being is happiness for me.
You seem like you have a deep foundation in your life. Was there somebody in your childhood that helped you set that foundation, or who was that, and what did they do?
I think my mum and my dad provided me with a background which I took it for granted. I didn't judge people, and being of 2 different, you know, my mother's African, my father's English. Being a mixture in that way allowed for tolerance of what isn't, you know, normal or usual. You know what I mean? I'm much more sort of liberal in my thinking. So I suppose there's that, and also just going through tough times in my life has allowed. I finally get it. You know, it's been a long time, ups and downs, and so happiness for me is about accepting the moment and surrendering to life as it is, and not having any expectations, because it's that grasping that makes you miserable, really.
Thandie Newton, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. Thank you.